Let's go.
DeOrganized media keeps the mind share. Growing in the morning with peace and GP. Keep you knowing the alpha keeps flowing. The hunters tools they be showing. The AI Gale keeps them in clips that be glowing. Consistent on the daily, they bring Bitcoin news. Ethereum, Solana, and stacks and other L2s. Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse.
When the people are music with another episode of the Let's Go Good Morning Show.
The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold mic and let us know where you stand. From the underworld, the game master arrives, bringing the games that satisfy the hive. Hunters come running, it keeps them alive. Scouring the planet for the treasures inside. Stacks improvement takes a sip, innovating the chain, letting the community know it's the name of the game. Spreading awareness and helping explain why Stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name.
Show that provides news and information, education, some entertainment, financial. I'm not qualified to give you financial advice. I will give you friendly advice. I do try to
DeOrganized media keeps the mind share. Growing in the morning with peace and GP. Keep you knowing the alpha keeps flowing. The hunters tools they be showing. The AI Gale keeps them in clips that be glowing. Consistent on the daily, they bring Bitcoin news. Ethereum, Solana, and stacks and other L2s. Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat. Spotlighting guests and filling up your bags. The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold mic and let us know where you stand. From the underworld, the game master arrives, bringing the games that satisfy the hive. Hunters come running, it keeps them alive.
But it's up to you. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not
innovating the chain, letting the community know it's the name of the game. Spreading awareness.
Never invest money you cannot afford to lose too. Because sometimes Stacks goes up 38, 39 cents. I think it's going to go to 43 cents. And then catch back on 40, but no, it actually corrects back towards 30 cents. And if you listen to me, you heard both sides. I didn't tell you exactly how it goes. I love Stacks, by the way. I know when the alpha keeps flowing, the hunters tools they be showing. The AI Gale keeps them in clips that be glowing. Consistent on the daily, they bring Bitcoin news. Ethereum, Solana, real quick before I take it off the screen, these contest entries are open all day. If the live stream is open, it's still streaming live. It's pinned to the post every day. So if it's pinned and it's still live streaming, you guys have an opportunity to enter. You're giving away 200 SDX for the month of January. Today, you answer in the replies underneath the pin post. What's one thing in crypto you're trying to understand better than right now? Super easy. Plus, it's good conversation to have. It's a good thought process. What is something in crypto you're trying to understand better right now? Maybe we'll get a little bit of a conversation about that. Maybe we'll do some public like that. We need to know what you guys are thinking and what you guys want to know more about. So this is a way for you guys to engage and participate in what we do here as well. As well as an opportunity to earn some let's take a look at the numbers this morning.
Consistent on the daily, they bring Bitcoin news. Ethereum, Solana, and stacks
Today
and other
we're
L2s.
looking at
Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat. Spotlighting guests and filling up your bag.
So Bitcoin coming in at 90,948, down another 2% off of where it was yesterday morning. Now, here reached down almost into that tier range again. We're now back
for the treasures inside. Stacks improvement takes a sip, innovating the chain, letting the community know it's the name of the game. Spreading awareness and helping explain why Stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name.
Back down here, and everyone didn't think it was going to get there. I can't believe it. And then it starts going like this, and everyone's still like freaking out. Back here, they think it's going to just like fall off the earth, but it's not. It's not. So you come up here, you go back here. You come up here a little bit more, and that's rack back. So don't freak out. Don't make rash decisions based on short-term price action. Ethereum down 4% at 3K. Look at the stack earlier. I wonder if it's 31, 31. Stack was doing better than just around the same as Ethereum today. And if you were paying attention, you had opportunities to buy that at 25 cents in the last couple of weeks. Maybe though, getting close. Who knows? You could wait, or you could buy some today. Up to you. Make your own decision. Top 3 gainers over the last 24 hours are Canton CC token, Mix Finance, and Meme Core's M token. Not familiar with any of those. So again, if you're interested, do your own research. I'm just saying that that's what's up. That's what's up today. And there's not much else up. Still a red day. Red start to the week. No, I don't think this has a whole lot to do with tariffs or anything else. I think it's just how market dynamics work. These stories just kind of manifest around that. Let's take a look at the news. Bitcoin at risk of a slide to $58,000 as restrictive Fed policy and trade tensions weigh on crypto. These articles by CoinDesk, by the way. Today we're featuring articles by CoinDesk, Decrypt, Cointelegraph, and Crypto Politics. And realize a lot of these actually come through I'll get back to that. Bitcoin faces downside risk as macro pressure builds. Bitcoin is under renewed pressure, restrictive Federal Reserve policy expectations, and rising global trade tensions weigh in risk assets. Analysts warn that if current support levels fail, Bitcoin could retrace toward the mid 50K range. Sticky inflation, delayed rate cut expectations, and uncertainty around global tariffs are tightening liquidity conditions, creating headwinds for speculative assets, while long-term structure remains intact. Near-term price action is increasingly sensitive to macro signals rather than crypto-native catalysts. Spreading awareness and helping explain why Stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name. Well, doing that during the news is probably not the best time. DeOrganized media keeps the mind share growing in the morning with peace and GP. Keep you knowing the alpha keeps flowing. The hunters Tuesday be showing the AI gale keeps them in crypto whales accumulate as retail pulls back. On-chain data shows large holders quietly accumulating Bitcoin as retail participation pools, while holding significant balances have increased exposure during recent pullbacks. While smaller wallets show reduced activity, this divergence suggests experienced capital may be positioning for long-term upside, even as sentiment among everyday traders weakens. Historically, this pattern has often appeared during consolidation or late correction phases rather than market tops. A Bitcoin wallet dormant for over a decade suddenly moved roughly $84 million with BTC, reigniting discussion around long-term holders and supply dynamics. While such events often spark fear of imminent selling, similar past movements have frequently resulted in internal transfers or custody upgrades rather than in needed distribution. Still, these awakenings tend to heighten short-term volatility as traders react emotionally to perceived supply shocks. This one here. DeFi protocol Pendle revamped governance token, citing low adoption. And we had a conversation yesterday about governance and DAOs. Pendle announced plans to replace its governance token after adoption and participation failed to meet expectations. The move reflects a broader reassessment happening across DeFi, where projects are questioning whether national governance tokens meaningfully align incentives or simply dilute value. Pendle's decision signals a willingness to restructure token design to better reflect actual usage and contributor engagement rather than legacy DAO frameworks. The last news story, global CEOs reveal aggressive AI and M&A plans despite uncertainty. Outside crypto, a new survey shows global CEOs aggressively expanding AI investment plans, prioritizing automation, efficiency, and competitive advantage. This reinforces a broader narrative. Capital continues flowing toward this transformative technologies, even as macro conditions tighten for crypto markets. AI remains a parallel innovation cycle, competing for attention, talent, and investment dollars, especially during periods of risk-off sentiment. So markets are risk-off. Macro is back in the driver's seat. Whales are quietly positioning, and crypto continues to evolve structurally while competing for AI capital. And also, we do want to just remind everybody, BitFlow is the place to go if you're looking to trade stacks, USDC, BTC, STX, SBTC, and more, all at the best prices across crypto. That's bitflow.finance. Check them out. They got so much cool stuff happening these days. And we have the Building on Bitflow, Building on Bitcoin space hosted by Bitflow on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Innovating the chain, letting the community know it's the name of the game, spreading awareness and helping explain why Stacks is where it's at. We are pumping the name. Looks like GP's actually in the. Let me see if I can. Morning, GP. You with us? DeOrganized media keeps the mind share, growing in the morning with peace and GP. Keep you knowing the alpha keeps flowing. The hunters tools they be showing. The AI Gale keeps them in clips that be glowing. Consistent on the daily, they bring Bitcoin news, Ethereum, Solana, and Stacks and other L2s. Showcasing new projects and giving you clues. Just do your own research and don't give us abuse. When the people are informed, peace brings on the chat. Spotlighting guests and filling up your bags. The flag doesn't matter as long as you grab. Take the gold mic and let us know where you stack. From the underworld, the game master arrived. I turned my. Sorry, guys. I had my mic down a little bit. That's why the music was loud. Sorry, Hero. Thanks for the heads up. Oh, AI BTC working group at 12:30 today. I missed it last week because they changed the time last minute, but I'm excited to hear more about that. And then we'll also have Hero's summary of that tomorrow as well. You guys should be following on the. The Stacks forum. Let me actually show you guys how to do that. It's forum.stacks.org. And there's tons of information here. We have Stacks Snacks. This comes out weekly by Claire. I haven't actually gone over this since a little while. I think the most recent one's at the top. No, maybe not. November still. Haven't seen one of these in a while. But maybe it's down further. Here we go. Let's go to the most recently. The recent Stacks Snacks was this past Friday, the 16th. Stacks big ideas in 2026. Their take on what's ahead for the ecosystem. Let's take a look at that. Stacks big ideas 2026. Bitcoin is entering 2026 with momentum, legitimacy, and scale. What it lacks. Do I have this on there? I don't think I do. Let me show you guys. Well, I'm not sure what's going on with GP. We'll get him back on when he can. Let's see. So what it still lacks is not capital or conviction, but infrastructure that lets Bitcoin move, earn, and coordinate without compromising its core principles. Over the past year, a set of ideas has begun to crystallize across builders, researchers, institutions, and core contributors in the Stacks ecosystem. These ideas point toward how Bitcoin may function operationally in the next phase of adoption. This is a synthesis of ideas highlighted by leading figures in the Stacks ecosystem and core organizations. They are drawn from research forums technical talks, protocol launches, and ecosystem experiments already underway. Together, they outline the narratives likely to shape 2026 for Stacks and more broadly, Bitcoin as programmable capital. Self-custodial Bitcoin staking. There is currently no product on the market that allows Bitcoin holders to stake BTC on the base layer to earn Bitcoin-denominated yield while remaining fully self-custodial. Because of this, trillions of dollars in BTC held by individuals, institutions, treasuries, and ETFs remain idle. Participating in yield today generally requires giving up custody, moving BTC off Bitcoin, or relying on intermediaries. These constraints exclude most large pools of capital. Stacks' latest R&D update explores a design for self-custodial Bitcoin staking that keeps BTC anchored to Bitcoin L1 while enabling Bitcoin-denominated yield through Stacks. The approach avoids custodial wrappers and federated bridges and is designed to preserve unilateral exit and Bitcoin-grade security assumptions. This is the first step in bootstrapping liquidity for Stacks. By enabling native Bitcoin yield under Bitcoin's trust model, Stacks targets the largest unused capital base in crypto, idle BTC. And this quote from Alex Miller sums it up. Right now, it's clear that holders want to leverage their Bitcoin in yield opportunities and DeFi in much greater numbers if the Bitcoin can be self-custodied at the L1. The latest designs directly tackle this and are already being tested with light implementations. Oh, very good, very good. Bitcoin-Earn vaults. Institutions want Bitcoin yield, but only through products that are auditable and work with existing custody and investment frameworks. Most Bitcoin yield solutions today fail this standard because they rely on custodial structures, fragmented DeFi strategies, or cross-chain risk that institutions can't underwrite. Bitcoin-Earn vaults offered through Hermetica take a different approach. Built on SBTC, the vault combines yield strategies with transparent on-chain execution and settlement anchored to Bitcoin, making it the first live implementation of this model. Operating with Stacks' enterprise-ready infrastructure, the vault is designed for institutions to participate. Vault logic is enforced by smart contracts while settlement remains tied to Bitcoin. The design avoids trusted middlemen and eliminates cross-chain risk. Quote from Jacob from Hermetica. The most important part of it is that it's non-custodial. Users control withdrawals. Everything is fully on-chain, and activity is visible in real time. You show up with your Bitcoin, and it's a one-click deposit into the vault. That's it. You show up with your Bitcoin, and it's a one-click deposit into the vault. By the way, I've been testing out Hermetica's HBTC, and it definitely seems to be working very smoothly. I'm super excited about that. I think they're giving like 6% on your Bitcoin right now. So it's not self-custodial. As it stands, you do got to bridge it in to Stacks, but it is super easy, super smooth, super fast. So you can't have them all necessarily, or eventually we will. Right now, lots of functionality for Bitcoin being developed on Stacks, and huge shout out to Hermetica with what they're doing. Productive Bitcoin treasuries. Corporations, funds, and endowments now hold large amounts of Bitcoin, but most of it sits idle. Internal rules around custody, risk, and oversight make it difficult for treasuries to earn yield without handing control to third parties or moving BTC off Bitcoin. Stacks offers a different path. Through Bitcoin staking with Bitcoin native financial protocols, treasuries can earn yield paid in Bitcoin while keeping security aligned with Bitcoin itself. Returns come from participating directly in the network rather than lending out assets or relying on discretionary counterparties. This model is reinforced by Stacks' institutional track record, regulated offerings including Reg A, qualified vehicles, and the Grayscale Stacks Trust allow institutions to evaluate and access Stacks within familiar allocation and reporting frameworks. From Munib Ali himself, imagine hedge funds on Wall Street that optimize any spread to increase profits. This is now impacting Bitcoin treasury companies where people need to figure out how to get yield on BTC. They are looking at L2s like Stacks that offer BTC yield. This is a huge article. So let me actually see. Maybe we'll cover the rest of this tomorrow. Capital efficient rails for BTC and USD movement. That is with USDCX. If you guys don't know, USDC on Stacks is a huge game changer for Bitcoin because we now have USDC, a real dollar stablecoin, on Bitcoin with Stacks. And then the AI agent economy on Bitcoin. We're actually meeting with the AI BTC devs later today, where they're going to have the AI working group, the Stacks AI working group. That is at 12:30. We'll be jumping in with them, and there is such cool stuff happening with what those guys are working on, and private self-custodial movement. Privacy solutions are being worked on Stacks as well. Privacy solutions for Bitcoin DeFi, for Bitcoin holders, and much more. So this is all happening on Stacks. This is real development. It's not hypothetical. It's not theoretical. It's just a matter of time before the kinks are worked out. It's happening on Stacks, my friends. So make sure you're checking out the Stacks forum. That's where you guys can get information on that. Again, shout out to Hero Gamer for what he's been doing with his stuff, with the all following around the working groups, the development groups on Stacks, and giving us regular updates weekly on these things, really daily as they happen. So just the video. Yeah, GP, this is right in the Stacks forum. So it's in the Stacks forum, and this link is in Stacks Snacks. Let me actually, I can bring you on. It looks like you're good to go. I know Hano had a late night or late whatever. He was coming back late. GP was, I saw you talking when I first went to turn you on. I was like, oh, he's still in the space. And then like I turned you on. As soon as I switched it on, it was like ice. You're muted.
Wonderful. Good morning, guys. Getting up to a great start. I was talking with Gareth a little bit about, how to get some of these different wallets from other, ecosystems involved and integrated into Stacks on the whatever mornings with the Good Vibe Tribe a little bit. It was a good conversation. So I'm going to get him connected with some people. And yeah, good morning, Peace. How are we doing this morning?
Doing good, man. Doing good. There's so much to talk. It just took me like 15 minutes to read through all the things happening on Stacks, and that's not even all the things. That's just like,
oh, dude, that's only the surface.
Right. Yeah. It's not even all the core stuff.
It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. And stacks.co/blog, right? That's where we can see some of these things that you
if you go to, it's stacks.co/blog, but you can also start at forum.stacks.org. And
so they both link to the same thing. Okay.
It basically goes to the same thing, but if you just type, because you're going to the forum, I usually just start typing forum and it populates for me.
Right.
Stacks Co, there's a lot of different things you're going there for.
I feel like there's a few different things that need to be like kind of updated on stacks.co, which is being worked on, I'm sure. But it's like it's a good place to get your alpha. I feel like some of these articles that have been coming out lately are really, really good reads, and I'm trying to cover most of them, format, so that we can reach out with the information a little bit further and wider. But there is a good post that I was looking for yesterday that was talking a little bit about digital asset treasuries and them being put to work in Stacks. So if you come across that post, let me know. I couldn't find it on the main Stacks handle. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was the advisor that posted it, but it was a really good read. And I'm trying to.
Which one? The one that Gnome put out?
I think
with all of this stuff.
It might be Gnome. I'm gonna have to go back through and take a look at his his timeline. But
I think we're gonna jump into the Clarity working group. I didn't realize that was going on right now. So let me see if they'll let me in late. Sometimes they
close the door.
Says Zeus can be a little bit of a stickler. He doesn't like it when people are late to the party. Let me see if I can get us in. Oh, am I not even on? Am I in the wrong one? Is it on this one? Let me see if Phil probably let me in. All right, let me see if I can do this.
Noticed that after everything integrating to Vessel, it's not broadcasting transactions, and it seems like the problem is not from the vessel itself. So I'm stuck because I can't seem to find anything wrong with my smart contracts.
Okay, I mean, that might be a separate issue, which we can get into. And I don't know if, you guys are working with post conditions, or if you have them set up. Maybe we can just go through this error first. So how are you, so the only way you've interacted with this contributing a campaign has been through the Explorer, because it seems like the front end doesn't even let you broadcast a transaction, right? So you can't really get far with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then essentially you've got, let me share it then, I guess. Hold on a second. So yeah, so just focusing on this here, essentially you're making this contract call, contribute a campaign, and it failed. But it says this transaction did not succeed because the transaction was aborted during its execution. A failed transaction is included in a block. Mining fees are paid to the miner and are non-refundable, but failed because it violates the rules of the Stacks protocol or if the smart contract it interacted with. See the error code and/or contract to learn more about the specific cause of the failure. So I mean, the first thing, like, just outside of this, like, I would love this to be more explicit. That might be something just to think about more for like long term, because this is just a little bit too ambiguous. I've gotten this in the past, and I think it could mean a few number of things. But I just think like that's something that would be good for us to think about, just the stacks in general, because it would alleviate a lot of like bottlenecks, obviously, for engineers. But I don't know, maybe there's something I'm not thinking about in terms of complexity. But if we go to the function called, so I'm actually, let me just see here. I'm actually already logged into my wallet because I wanted to test this. Let's just see here. Okay, but the failure here is error 302, right? And so that helps us because right away we can go back to that error. And then we see that you've put in campaign ID 4, amount 1,000, and then you've got this trait reference escrow principal, right? This address. So campaign amount escrow. So if we go to error 302 in your contract, so you've got error campaign not found. So for some reason, this campaign was not found. And if we go to, let me just find F302. Let's see, or, okay, if you don't have this, then it'll probably just be the name of this. Second. Okay. So here we are in the function, right? So contributing to campaign, you've got the UINT, you've got the amount, you've got that escrow, and then you've got these campaigns, you're tracking by ID, and you can't unwrap this because it's not found, and the error kind of comes up probably right there. Okay, and then you've got the same error in other functions, which we probably don't need just yet. Let's focus on that first one. Yeah, so as Jesus was saying, that it probably can't find that. So then obviously the question is, how did you sort of like get to this? I'm assuming you created the campaign, like first, or how did you do it?
Okay. I think now I'm beginning to see where my mistake is. So it's a demo. It's not like we created a campaign yet. They're all demo campaigns. So maybe I could show you the demo. Just
Yeah. It's just,
like
did you
a
have
demo.
something you want to say, or?
Yeah. Okay, let's just go back to sharing the contract. I'll share.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, Victor. I'd rather be very effective than, slow or just like not being straightforward. But yeah, you're not testing this correctly. So if I look at the actual contract, you haven't been able to make a single campaign.
Okay.
Literally everything's failed. Except for when you deploy the contract. It failed because in your first one, when you were trying to create campaign, you are failing an authorization check. If you look at error 309, that is an auth check. Error no verification. So then if I look up error no verification, my hunch is you are not calling into this verification address beforehand and setting this filmmaker to currently verified. So when you call this function, you are passing in this verification address contract. But you haven't called into it, man.
Yeah. Say that again. I didn't hear what you said.
He hasn't called into the verification contract. So
Okay,
yeah. So Victor, you have a verification system, which, by the way, I love this book, Good to Great by Jim Collins. Phenomenal book. You have a verification system. You need to first make sure that you are the verified filmmaker, and then try creating a campaign. Because right here, you are trying to create campaigns, but you're not a verified filmmaker. So that's why none of the campaigns that you created were working. Which is why, obviously, when you're trying to contribute to a campaign, it's also not working because those campaigns don't exist. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you understand that, you really have to run the steps as if you're doing them, in real life in your.
Just real quick, what's up, Tinderly? We're covering the Clarity Working Group call right now, but I want to remind everybody that Tinderly is a D grants applicant. He has a D grant project. You guys should absolutely be following Tinderly on X and make sure that you're tuning in when he goes live. It's really important. We're getting some exposure to stacks, non-crypto space. And so we need to make sure we're supporting those. You're following Tinderly. I'm going to turn it back.
Identities, which it seems like this is your main struct for dealing with this filmmaker. My recommendation is when you deploy this contract, just initialize a filmmaker here, where you just have the address, where you just have the principal for the deployer. So you can just, below this, define, map set, filmmaker's identity, TX sender, and then put everything in. And then that way, when you deploy this contract, you'll already have you verified as a filmmaker,
so you could go ahead and test and start testing the rest of the workflow.
Please come again. I missed the part. The
Okay.
initialization.
You want to initialize this contract with one filmmaker already registered, so that you don't have to call into it to register itself. You can do that
Okay.
by, yeah, and you can just do that by here saying map set filmmaker's identity DEX sender, and then fill in the data that you want. So that way, when you deploy this contract, that will already be initialized, so you could go ahead and try testing the rest of your workflow.
Yeah, would that be only for testnet? Like, would the same thing run for mainnet?
It's the same thing. We're just giving him a way to set up the first filmmaker so that he can test successfully.
So you're saying I should do that in the filmmaker's contract, the film verification contract, right?
Yeah, just to initialize so that you can test the rest everything else out.
Okay.
I mean, otherwise you just have to create the filmmaker, right, every time.
Yeah.
I know. I would be okay. So where would I be initializing it? Which of the public functions will I be map setting it? Okay, here I believe.
In the one that he just referenced,
That should
you
be-
just do it right.
That's register filmmaker ID, I believe.
No, I'm saying underneath your map here, just initialize
Okay.
one account with map set, filmmaker's identity, TX sender, and then your information. So Victor, whatever,
You're
verified.
defining the
True.
map and you're setting your first
Exactly.
filmmaker in the same place. Does that make sense? So you would just add a map set inside.
That way you don't have to call in the function to first sign up your first person. You have it ready to go, and you can just go ahead and start.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Copy.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I wanted to also get 402 stacks in here, but we had issues inviting. Then when we invited his other account, he didn't really say hello yet in the chat, so I couldn't really start that. Because I did want to see if we can get him in here just to talk about the 402 stacks API stuff. Maybe we'll do that next time. I don't know if anyone else has anything they want to chat about or any questions. I feel like today's going to be super fast, super short. Victor, do you have any other? Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask a question? So I have a question for Victor. Like in this application, this is CineX, right?
Yeah.
So where you have the filmmaker, like how do you verify his identity? Because I'm working on something called StoryOS, which is basically for creative writers, like writing screenplays and stuff. So now I'm working on conceptually what is the decentralized identifier like for that person? Is it like some kind of metadata which points to IMDb links and verification to their work, to LinkedIn? Like how do you see this? Like if you had to onboard people in film, the film and media business, how would you do that?
Yeah, you exactly answered it. It's just their links, wherever their links are, whether on LinkedIn, whether on YouTube, wherever it is. I'm just trying to stay away from paying too much for what's it called, CDNs, right?
So when you say but when you say CDN, like what kind of what are you thinking?
Content delivery networks. Yeah.
Yes, but what kind of content are you looking at over there?
As long as they have their profiles, their portfolios, wherever they may be hosted, maybe IMDb, maybe on YouTube, maybe LinkedIn. So the website doesn't have to. We don't have to pay too much for getting like a Pinata pinned
Yeah.
storage and all of that. Yeah, we don't have to do all of that. Thanks to Zero really advised me on that, because I was thinking of getting a premium Pinata and all of that. And he said, well, now in this pilot stage or MVP stage, should I just avoid spending too much money on all of those things? And really, people can always link to their profiles wherever they are. There are so many websites they have their profiles. So that's it basically. I don't know if this meeting is being recorded. I would have loved to go back so that I could follow what Zeus said.
It's because it's really, really interesting because like, okay, how can you then like say if you had to onboard the user in steps, like what I'm creating is I'm asking questions. Are you a screenwriter? Are you an actor? Tick, 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 tick. Okay, just click these things, put your link. Once that's done, okay, how do you take that information and put it in a contract? So how would that be possible? And like, even if I can understand just the high level of it, I can write it down and maybe work on something like this.
Yeah, BNS v2.
That makes sense, right?
And the store the zone file inside BNS v2.
Because I'm also looking into the story protocol. That's IP. So that's a way for like creators to register an IP. So say if there's a scene or a screenplay, they can register that. But if there was some way to aggregate all that information into one lump, which can be then verified, it's almost like voting. Then if you have somebody established who is signed in and registered, if suppose some big filmmaker like Quentin Tarantino says, okay, I verify this profile, that could be really interesting. Like that helps like build social credit for that individual. This is what I've been like thinking about. Like how do you make that membership valuable? So usually social proof of some kind, some recommendation from some filmmaker. Like I'm on IMDb as a composer. So like, okay, now I need to make sure that the filmmaker and the producers I work with, they are able to sign up with a BNS name or some way verify. So I'm just thinking through this, like what all information I need to collect. But this is really interesting. Thanks.
Okay. Could I chip in a bit here based on field experience? So what I discovered last week, I just came back from onboarding beta users to CineX, and that's because you're speaking about filmmakers, right? I discovered something about them. I think it's applicable to filmmakers globally, if I'm not mistaken. There are a bunch of people that deal with equipments, cameras, and the likes of them. They really, really are not given to this whole decentralized thing. I kid you not. I met high-level veteran filmmakers in my country, had meetings with them, and Zeus, Gary, I kid you not, they never touched one single feature in CineX. They didn't even bother test it. They didn't even allow me. They were not willing to test the features of CineX. They only asked me one question. They just saw it as a bank.
Yeah.
They asked me one question. They said, this is a bank without borders, so where's liquidity? And because if it's a bank, then where's the capitalization? That is, how is capital being injected into this bank for them? And I think even in Hollywood, that would be the only question any filmmaker would ask. So I am beginning to tone down to pivot CineX from just so much of the blockchain technicalities and begin to appeal to these people who have they don't want the technical jargons. They just want to know how can, in fact, that's part of my proposal. I'm about to propose as I submit to the grants this Thursday. I'm proposing that how can Stack see CineX as its arm, the arm of Stacks that will be a media financing solution to filmmakers globally. Because those people don't care jack about blockchain. They don't care anything about BNS. I'm telling you the truth. They don't care. I met Steve. They were very, very ruthless with me. But because I had I was a filmmaker before, because I had relationships with most of those filmmakers. So I used the power of relationship to get into their midst and was able to buy my way around them and assuage their hearts to say I will be speaking with my leaders to see that Stacks finds a way to bring in liquidity, to inject liquidity into this to see it as really a bank. So I will tell you, right, RV, right? Do not believe it's about filmmakers. Do not really bother yourself too much about heavy blockchain. Find a way to scale it down to their level. Yeah, to their level.
Yeah, so I'm happy to give an opinion on here, Victor. I just want to say, and again, I feel like it's interesting to hear you say that because everyone who's a veteran here will agree completely with what I'm going to say, but that's your initiation as a founder in Web3, man. Most people do not give a crap whether it's a blockchain, a U-chain, whether it's decentralized, centralized, use a Schnorr signature or Merkle roots. Like, no one gives a shit, man. They just want to make money, and they want products that make money for them and that solve their problems. I'm happy to talk to you about that in another meeting that is not about clarity, because as a founder, as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
I've gone through that pain point many times where I'm pitching the futures as opposed to the benefits and addressing their pain points.
Yeah.
And that's just like a holistic lesson that is very different from clarity engineering. But don't feel discouraged, because that was the first reaction. That was exactly how it was supposed to go and how it went for everyone here who's worked on a Web3 idea first.
Yeah, and I concur, and I just say it's better to get to this point sooner than later.
Yeah.
If you're going to get to it, and some people will spend years before they talk to their first, potential user. So it's actually a blessing, in disguise.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, thank you. It was a blessing, a great one, actually. It was a great blessing.
Yeah, so you'll pivot and you'll adjust your proposal.
Good news is that they all signed up for the wait list. They were glad to sign up.
Good. So you are solving something that they need. They just don't care how you solve it. They just want you to solve it. So you'll be able to add the recording, it looks like, through DeOrganized, which is great. And if not, message us. It's not, I understand what Setsus was saying, so I can help you as well. So yeah, and if you want, Setsus, do you want to go through what Hero Gamer just put?
I'm reading it right now. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I'm happy to cover it really. I'm happy to cover it really quickly. So those of you that don't know, and of course maybe Rüdiger or Bowtie, you guys have different opinions than I do, because this is my first time reading it. But my initial gut reaction, Hero, is that this is.
Can you share
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. I'll share the link as well. Yeah, if you guys want to look at the message conversation, apparently there's a thread in the forum about an idea of a BIP. My quick read is that this just adds like a couple functions for checking whether someone is an owner of a contract, pausing a contract. I got lost on reentrancy guards. Reentrancy doesn't exist in Clarity, so I don't know what he's talking about here. Rate limiting. I also don't know what rate limiting means in blockchain. Like, that's what the fees are for. So I'm lost on these 2 points, unless anyone else wants to speak up. Okay, cool. These first 3 points. Access control. Yeah, most contracts use this. Whether we should standardize that into a trait, I don't know. That's I wouldn't really care. Because like it's your contract and you should have ownership for it. Traits are usually used because you want predefined behavior when a contract interacts with another contract. If this specific trait is about who can access only this contract, then it's not being used to call other contracts. So I don't really see why I would standardize an admin model for my own contracts if it's not relevant to other contracts. Like I want access control the way I want it. The signatures might look different. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really see. I don't really like. 2, I'm also not sure how you put that into a trait. 1, I'm iffy on whether that matters. 3, okay. Most contracts should maybe be possible. I can agree with that. But again, maybe I'm just reading this wrong, but like traits are meant to create defined paths between one contract call into another. And all 5 of these points look like they're limited to just a single contract. So, and again, reentrancy doesn't exist. It seems like this is a Solidity developer because they're clearly very familiar with Open Zeppelin. Not that there's anything wrong with Solidity, but it just seems to me that he's applying like a lot of the Solidity. He's reaching for Solidity toolkits, not finding them, and then trying to import them to Clarity, which is not the first time we've had someone like move through that process, right? Because they are different languages.
Hi.
Yeah, basically, I think this proposal is trying to import some of the Solidity coding patterns into Clarity, but because they are very different, they cannot apply. Like a trait is not the right place to implement these, maybe. Like
That's my thought.
Stuff. Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah,
These are more like
inherit.
governance properties. Oh, sorry, go for it.
Yeah, you cannot inherit through trades. So you could have something like a core thing, but then if you have several contracts, they're using the same core, then it becomes difficult because you're managing everything through this one thing.
Friedrich, can you expand, like, kind of like what you said, contracts should not have an owner? Like, how do you kind of think about that?
Well, just in general, we are writing protocols, and if HTTP or FTP or email has an owner, then it becomes difficult. But I understand that sometimes you want to have an owner because it's about money. So, yeah. Just a bit provoking, sorry.
Well, is
Don't
it
take it
more
too
about like
serious.
validating, not necessarily like you're an admin of the contract, but like validating, kind of like how we have TX sender, like who can deploy, or I don't know, I'm just thinking through.
My thought is most of these are governance properties, and we should, in no shot, try to standardize governance. Yeah, that's my. Honestly, I think Friedrich said it as cleanly as you could have. You cannot inherit through traits, and most of these seem to be trying to inherit like security patterns for a single contract. Yeah, Hero, I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, I mean, it's for him. So yeah, I'm sure he will just need to, take the feedback and then, maybe he's just trying. I think, like you said, he was used to the Ethereum environment, and he couldn't find it the equivalent of open zapping thing in stacks, and I think he just wanted. I guess he just wished him or other developer can save time without recreating everything from scratch. That's my understanding, and that's why he thought, okay, what if we create a Lego block that can be used by other people? But you guys mentioned like maybe you cannot recreate that Lego block here, but maybe through other means. I don't know.
Yeah, I think something like template contracts or something where you have code and you just initialize with your data, so if you take a token, you can have one standard template thing and you just initialize with your values for the symbol and so on. So everyone has the same contract, and then you can verify through the hash that it's always the same. So you need to audit it once, but you have your own token. And maybe that can be applied in a more general way. If we have a governance set up with a DAO, then we take this, we initialize with our values, the initial members of the DAO or something. But the code is the same. We just deploy our own version, or we deploy the same version, the same code, but initialize with our own things.
That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense.
Yep.
And with Clarity 4, we can even verify this on chain, where we say, oh, these are all the contracts that use the same code, so it's safe, or it's as safe as everyone else code.
Right.
Using this token or this
as unsafe as everyone else.
Yeah. So I like that if we can do that. So I try to do that with the smart wallets. So have a registry where you can submit your contract, and then if the hash matches the original one, then it's accepted in the registry. So you can even look up it on chain whether it's safe or not. Safe still in code.
Makes sense.
Does anyone have anything else? All right.
Just words of wisdom for Victor. Keep your head up. We've all been through this. Just remember, don't fall in love. Well, fall in love with the tech, but never forget that's not what the customer is buying. Like, they want more money. They want more time.
Yep.
They want to look cool. Like that's all people want. So just reframe your value prop to that.
Okay. For Chimbeef, I know him personally, so I'll convey the outcome of this meeting to him. That's the guy who proposed it. He actually was my student in Clarity after. So I'll reach out to him and I'll explain. He didn't reach out to me when he was proposing this, because so a background about him. He's not actually a Solidity developer, but he's a very, very inquisitive person. So I guess he inquired into Solidity, and when I was taking in Clarity, I did some Solidity, so I gave him a little bit of the syntax of Solidity, and then I showed him that of Clarity side by side, and I asked him to make his choice, which one that, and gave him the prospects of Clarity, and so he made his choice, his call for Clarity. But I guess maybe he began to romance Solidity a bit, but I will reach out to him and have a chit chat with him and explain a few of this outcome here.
All good, man. We always want more people exploring and we'd rather have more people doing like that and questioning themselves, questioning the language, putting things out there than anything else. Have them come to the next meeting so we can sit in as well.
Okay. I would love to have maybe backdoor after this, the whole help you helped me with here, so you could put me through on how to really, really rectify this whole issue I'm having. As in you and Gary, I believe.
You really wish what?
To help me, guide me as I try to resolve this whole issue that I'm having. Yep.
I mean, I can definitely help you set that map that Jesus was saying. We can start there. I can just send you the updated version of that contract. I mean, of that set of the map.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I would love that, because I'm actually, I don't want to use the word overwhelmed, but I'm making a lot of reports back to the DeGrand, so it's been tough for me. I've not really gone back to my codes in a few weeks, in some weeks now.
Well, yeah, I'll just comment and say, your contract is not a simple contract. You're calling, other contracts and traits. When my initial contracts were way simpler than yours, so in some ways, you're kind of going through the thick of it. I mean, it's good. It's really good learning experience, but it's also you know, just pace yourself and understand that you're kind of starting off at like level 2, you know, versus like level 1, from my opinion, you know, from what I'm seeing. But
Yeah.
Also,
Thank you.
I would recommend, and again, this is going to be controversial to everyone here, but like, if you're just learning a smart contract language, specifically smart contract language, don't use AI. Honestly, don't even use like Visual Studio extensions. Not a lot of people know this, but the first 6 months I wrote Clarity, I literally did it in a text notebook. Like, no syntax highlighting, no error highlighting, like, nothing, bare bones. And honestly, it made me, yeah, exactly. It made me reframe how I write code, where before I was used to like writing a bunch of errors, pushing something, seeing the errors, and then debugging. Like, writing smart contract code like this forced me to be much more careful when I'm first writing it, as opposed to like deploying, iterating, because as you're seeing, that's much more expensive here. And not from a money perspective, from a time perspective. But cool. All right, with
Can I
that,
ask you a
we're gonna
question?
wrap up. Yeah, go for
Can
it.
I ask,
Yeah, go for it.
now, when you started with Clarity, what did you know before that? Like, where were you coming from?
I floated around with Solidity for like a year or two. Then before that, I did, honestly, not as much programming as you'd think. I was always very math inclined, and I would consider myself like an applied mathematician. But programming wise, like, I actually didn't do that much engineering stuff until I started doing smart contracts. Something about this paradigm like just sits really well with me. Like, I've always been between finance and tech, and smart contracts kind of just brought both of those together. So like, I knew some Swift, I knew some Solidity, I knew some JavaScript, some Python, some C#, like writing VR stuff in Unity, but I really didn't know anything too much about smart contracts.
So what with your like roadmap? Like, if you had to look back, like you just suggested a few things, like what would you tell somebody who's just starting out? Like for me, I'm seeing the point in learning Clarity. I just got this book too, some learning Lisp, at least the basics.
Nice.
It's a lot of math. It's a lot of math, which I didn't pay attention in school. I was just playing guitar all the time, but now I'm really loving it. So I'm seeing the value in it, really understanding it, at least understanding the abstractions and procedures of this whole thing. Like, so but I still want to map out like what should be the roadmap, right? Because there are no shortcuts as such, because I feel like in the end I have to always look back and do like stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there aren't any shortcuts. Again, so there are like resources in Stacks. Obviously, the Clarity book, 100 Days of Clarity that I worked on. But honestly, what really did it for me, again, outside of forcing myself to not have any developer tools, which I want to point out, I actually didn't do that on purpose. It was just Visual Studio was broken for like 6 months, and I didn't bother to fix it. I just put myself through that. Outside of that, what I would highly recommend, and I did this for a while too, is I wrote every single like really important smart contract line by line. So for example, like take the BNS v2 contract, take the SBTC protocols, take the POX4 contract, write them line by line. Understand what every single fucking byte does in that contract, in all three of those contracts. And then afterwards, like some little red flag stuff during those early months to any contract that I saw on the Explorer, I just would try to break it. Like, it really helped like develop my mental model. But I was just looking at the Block Explorer, and I was just trying to hack any contract I could. Yeah, exactly, that one. Yeah. Yeah, because playing on the other side as well, like trying to hack contracts is a really interesting way to like also develop a mental model for like what are really unsafe practices.
But how are you able to hack it? Were you like into network engineering?
No, just straight the smart contract itself. The smart contracts themselves are much more exploitable than you would think they are. Krieger can tell you as well. Like, there's been a lot of exploits. The contracts are not nearly as secure as you think they are.
Wow.
So you can usually find like 1, 2, or 3 bugs in them. But yeah, actually, fun stuff. One of my first clients, or how I started building my business here, is doing that. I found a client for a really popular NFT marketplace back in the day, and I realized you could drain their marketplace. And I reached out to them and was like, "Hey, I figured out how to drain your marketplace. Like, pay me to rewrite your Clarity contracts." And they did, and that was like how I got my first client. So yeah. Hopefully all those help somewhat. Cool. Also, I'm not sure if any of you guys noticed this, but we're in the Clarity shirt on Clarity Tuesdays. Yes, sir. Super thankful for the community. Thank you, Hero, for organizing this, for obviously being here all the time, being the backbone of it all. DeOrganized, thank you as well for giving us some lift, and everyone else, thank you for coming out. Again, I'm really, really happy to just continue passing the knowledge on, and excited to see that more people are building in this space. This again, tend to remember that what you're selling is fixing people's pain points, not anything Web3 or smart contracts or like most people will not care about that. Just solve their problems. Cool. All right, everyone. Thank you. I will see you in 2 weeks, and I will have the digital signature workshop ready to go.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Exactly.
All right. That was a lot covered in that working group. I thought it was great stuff. Super glad that Hero reminded me, because they do that every other. I believe it's every other Tuesday. I thought they did it last week, but it's hard to keep track.
Right. The weeks start to run together.
Honestly, it would be even better if that could probably be done weekly based on the number of people developing. I love getting that perspective, because Hero, that like specifically that and huge shout out to Victor for putting himself out there, by the way, having his text scrutinized and getting the feedback and putting the work in. And you make yourself vulnerable, but you're taking that feedback well, and great job by Set Zeus, identifying what the problem is, because he knows, but kind of explaining it in a way that's like, this is how to solve that. This is how you find the issue and all of that. So great stuff there.
He's very well versed in Clarity, and hearing a little bit about how he learned Clarity utilizing, a notebook, and didn't use Visual Studio, so he could get a deeper understanding about how, things kind of lines of code work. Was interesting take, hearing a little bit of backstory.
Well, actually, he said it was really just because it was broken, and it
was just broken. He didn't update it.
Right. So it just, the opportunity, sometimes you get some weird opportunities that you learn how to do. You don't even necessarily remember how valuable that was. But he's a tremendous actor in the space. Huge shout out to both him and Gary for doing this, hosting the working group, providing their knowledge, helping grow builders. And if you are looking to build, I actually dropped the link to the working group in the replies underneath the live stream thread. So that's there. If you're building and you want to get into this group, also there's a DM group on X. We can get you added in. Let me know. Or just stay tuned. We're going to try to cover this every week or every other week when they have it. Sometimes we miss it. But you guys can always, this is an open call. So anyone building on Clarity that's looking for some advice by some OGs who know what to do, Seth, Zeus, and Gary are always there. Freeger is almost always there too.
Yep.
So between the three of those guys, they're going to solve your problem. Trip drops in a lot. See him on there a lot as well. Plus a bunch of the other guys that are cranking and grinding and new stuff. So you get a lot of perspective, a lot of input, and a lot of guidance. And of course, if you're going to those meetings and you have some questions outside of that time frame, and they know who you are, so they're more likely to be able to more meaningfully help you if you're participating. So get out there, get into the Clarity working group calls. It's at least every other Tuesday, if not every Tuesday, at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and we can get you the link if you need it. I love that they brought a perspective on that that security standardization SIP, because it does seem like there's a lot of stuff in there that's unnecessary or superfluous. So we'll see how that develops, but I do think security standardizations, I wasn't going to get into the conversation in there because I had already been muted, and I don't have enough of a background to really know to not derail the conversation.
Right. I think it's kind of interesting just to sit back and like listen to how our devs work together to help each other with their projects, right? You know, it's homogeneous. Like we are homogenous, like our dev community based. They help each other and get into these calls and, you know, work it out live, you know, and there's something special there. That's really to kind of witness and just sit back and watch.
For sure. It really is it's a very interesting, as a non-dev, I started participating in that before I was streaming it. Yeah. I would just join in. It was originally just Gary doing Zero to Clarity. And I would just join in to listen to get an idea, because even if I'm not really going to be coding, it's good to understand the concepts, because that'll help you design your what you're building anyway, you know. And so I do like it. I think it's a good sitting in this hold on, let me stop sharing that one, share this one so I can close that down. Don't need to be in a meet anymore. And there, and then
you got about 15 tabs open on your browser too, huh?
Oh man.
I'm just looking, I'm like,
9, 12, 13, 14 right now.
My computer is worrying. It's like
yeah, it's I know where Zero to Clarity came from, Hero. I know exactly where Zero to Clarity came from, because it came from the same place as DeOrganized Media. It came from DeGrant's cohort 2. You guys didn't know. DeGrant's is where it's at. I do believe there will be a cohort 4. We're almost wrapping up cohort 3, by the way. So entrants have about another week or so, a couple weeks, to get their milestones completed. And then end of February, beginning of March, I think, is when we'll probably starting to announce cohort 4. Not that it'll be rolling out right away, but I do think it'll be sooner than the space between cohort 2 and cohort 3 is what I'm expecting, although I don't really know. But actually, and Hero says that Freeger provided some feedback on the forum. So the security, let me actually bring that up real quick. This is great. This is actually great. He synopsized all of that. That's what the value of the community. What you were saying is like builders and developers just kind of collaborating and working together. These guys aren't all on the same payroll or doing the same thing. Like they're not all you know, like they're working together for the value and the benefit of each other being part of working together, but it's not by pay, it's by intent and consent and deliberation. Like they're doing it deliberately to because they see the value in doing so. And Freezer coming in and dropping these, access control. Maybe Clarinet could do checks, but in general, we can't inherit through trait. And to this one specifically, when they were talking about it, my suggestion would be that while yes, I understand it's not contract to contract, a new developer having a standardized process for access control might benefit, even though most developers are going to be able to, they're going to want to set access control how they want to set it. There might be a best practice or some kind of standardized template that could be available to less experienced builders looking to do that for the first time. So that might be worth a standardization, just that. But I don't know. I didn't, and it does sound like Clarinet could even if it is just doing some checks to make sure that they have it in place properly or something, or that'll function, that might be helpful. Same thing with input validation, and then reentry and rate limiting are probably not necessary. And pausable contracts. So he says, could you explain what the pattern should be? We can have some core contracts that are the basis, and the top level can be paused and replaced. So I'm not sure what that application would be, but I think that just that feedback with a question and a suggestion and answering these points, I'm sure is hugely valuable to. Hero beat me to it, I bet. Yep. It was.
I feel like Hero lives in the forums.
Hero's an AI. He's got it.
Dude, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way that he's human, right?
He's an AI that's controlled by the actual real Satoshi. We know it. It's just is what it is. It's how it's got to be.
Yeah, big shout out to Hero, dude. Hero is a pivotal part of this ecosystem and connecting a lot of different devs and community members, and just in the know about where the talent is located within the community. Guy is in the know.
He just chases it around.
Yeah,
he chases it around. He helps cultivate it. He puts people together. He's the biggest mover and shaker in the. So from the community side, Hero Gamer is the Stacks MVP.
I agree.
On the developer side, I'm not sure exactly who it is yet. It could be Rafa.
I mean, there's a lot of devs that are doing slam dunks. I do not discount Rafa at all, dude. It's hard to pick.
Right. There's a few heavy hitter devs out there for sure. And I mean, there's some community guys like yourself, and our beloved legend of stacks, legend stack, Jack Benswitch and Noam and Rubes. Like, there's a ton of great community developers and movers and shakers out there. But Hero is the cookie cutter model. That's what we need more of. More Hero gamers. Scaling Claude vibe coders. Oh, did you guys do a Claude vibe coding session? I would love to tune into the AIBTC working group at 12:30 to find out more about the Claude vibe coding session. Let's go. Love it. Awesome. So that's going on. Is there a DeFi show today? I don't even know.
There is. So go to the Stacking DAO handle on X. That is at Stacking DAO, and set your reminders. It's about to start in about a minute or two. There is a Stacks DeFi show every Tuesday at 10 a.m. ET. They paused it for just a little bit at the end of the year for the holidays, and we are back in full swing. So do join in, and there is a weekly screen share that we do in the Stacking DAO Discord as well, and content workshop. So we're going to be doing that at 1 p.m. ET. So jump in there and get activated. It's a good place to, I'll share my screen and show my process, how I'm creating these different videos, how I'm, scouring the timeline for alpha and, keeping people in the know. So just going through the whole process live on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Nice. Very nice. Was there anything else you wanted to cover, or is that the
I think that's the gist of it, man. I feel like position right now. We talked a little bit about the charts last week and how everything was looking very, very bullish, and how we might need a little bit of a correction. So we're going through a little bit of a correction right now. Things don't go up straight in a straight line. So I'm feeling like it's looking healthy.
Right. You can't have like a 40-something% run without a correction. You can't. You have to, because you can't sustain it. Do I still think the price was for stacks specifically? Do I think that the price was undervalued even at that little peak of the last run? Yeah, I do, but that's not how markets work. And we're still building, so there's going to be
there's a lot of steps, man. A lot of steps to take before everything. There's a lot of things being integrated and innovated on right now in the Bitcoin ecosystem via stacks. So it does take time. It is a process, and
the entire world financial order is being shooken up like nobody's business. Like we haven't seen in really a long time, and not at the same level, because it's just technology is where it is now, where we're turning. And I think we're turning to a post-state model, meaning that finance will be separated from states to some degree. And I think that that's a huge benefit to humanity, but it's going to be a little bit rough and rocky getting there as things shake out. But that's why the price is what it is. It's not a stacks issue. It's not a Bitcoin issue. It's not a crypto issue. It's a macro situation that there's just so much craziness going on in the world that it's hard. Markets get scared. Markets get shook. Markets are being manipulated significantly right now. So we'll be all right. We'll be all right. You just got to keep showing up every day, putting that work in, just like you guys are.
Consistency is key.
Get out there.
Yes. This is the way.
This is the way. Thank you, GP. Much love. By the way, Hannah had some stuff going on. He said he was possibly going to drop in late, but I told him don't worry about it. If you make it, great. Always love to have him. But we do expect to see him tomorrow. We love our brother when we miss him. He adds a different vibe to the shows. So
yes,
shout out to Hannah. We will see you tomorrow, brother. And I am Peace Love Music. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live on Bitcoin Live, decentralized broadcasting every Monday through Friday. We're bringing it to you, and you're taking it whether you like it or not.
Let's go. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in today. Have a great day. And I didn't get a chance to play it in the middle, so quick word from Bitflow, our amazing sponsor. I don't know what happened. The music won't play. I hate that.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm going to wait a bit, then start the class. I'm trying to get everything sorted out real quick. But yes, let's start today's class. So again, welcome everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Stocks AI Build Bootcamp. Today we're going to be going over what or how you could like create content on Bitflow, since most people don't know what Bitflow is since they're so new. So first, what is Bitflow? Bitflow is a decentralized exchange on the Bitcoin ecosystem, on the Bitcoin blockchain. So Bitflow is designed to help solve the problem of fractional liquidity. That means it helps you trade both stablecoin or Bitcoin pegged assets. Basically, it helps you trade Bitcoins, tokens that are on the stocks blockchain, like your main coin like Rush, Leo, and the likes. Also, what Bitflow aims to solve is that Bitflow aims to solve the problem of idle assets, which Bitcoin is all about. So Bitflow is here to create a yield or DeFi strategy for the assets on Bitcoin. So basically, it involves you can supply your SBTC on Bitflow and get rewarded through liquidity pools there. And there are various core features in Bitflow. Mind you, I'm going to go through this real quick because I'm also going to do a recap of the original classes, just a quick recap. So Bitflow allows you to swap. That means you can swap your meme coins, your stable assets, or anything with minimal slippage. And you can also earn real yield. That means you can stake your assets and get rewarded with sustainable returns. And then Bitflow also offers single-sided liquidity, which you can see from your STSTX on the Bitflow pool. And through that, you can supply only your STSTX and get rewarded for that. So next, the benefits of Bitflow, why Bitflow is so based. It is created on the Bitcoin layer to which leverages stacks to bring smart contracts to Bitcoin. So what Bitflow does is that it uses the programmability of stacks to allow DeFi on Bitcoin. It allows SBTC integration. SBTC is a one-to-one pegged Bitcoin, which enables users to perform DeFi with it. So Bitflow allows people to do that with their SBTC. And now I'm going to go over the last class. We've talked about prompting, how prompting could help you grow, and how to do effective prompting. So today I'm going to just go brief on how you can do effective prompting without having to do too much. So first, when you want to create, when you want to make effective prompt, you have to know what your context is. You have to be clarified on what you want to do, and then you have to define your constraint. So first of all, when you say context, that means what your AI is. That means you have to give your AI personnel to get effective prompt. For example, like let me give an example, a practical example to be precise, so you guys should not be confused. I'm going to go to okay, so hold on, my screen is not. So now I'm going to show you guys how to give your AI a persona. So first of all, you can use any AI for this, mind you. So for me, I'm going to try to use my Google AI Studio, since I already have a persona there. But let's go over how to create a persona with Gemini. Okay, so first of all, you have to think about what type of persona you want, or what the features you want your persona to have. Like for example, I want to create a prompt engineer that is well versed in the creation of AI images and AI videos that looks more like 3D animations. So I'm going to tell my AI to give a set of system instructions that gives the, well, I hope my screen is visible, that gives an AI the set of personalities. Personalities. So now I'm going to, although it's advisable not to use bullet points or asterisks or stuff like that, because it's some AIs do not work better with those. So I'm going to try to like do this the easy way. So I'm going to ask it to tell the AI that you are a very advanced AI prompt engineer skilled in the field of AI images and video creation. And also I'm going to add this for quality, also with experience and would reward photography. The reason I said photography is because when you want to like create an image, the photographers have better sense of how to create images, what images should look like, how they should look like, the best way it can come out, the best angle and stuff like that. So I'm going to run that and see what Gemini gives me. So it gives me this. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy this system instruction and then take it to my Studio. I'm going to show you. So the site is aistudio.google.com and you can access it. It's basically free for everyone in case you have no access to subscription. So I'm going to put this in and then I'm going to switch this to Gemini. Okay, so now I want to like create a normal image, but I don't want to use a reference image. So I'm going to tell you to create an image of, oh yeah, another important thing. The best way to use prompt is by using them as JSON files. So JSON files are like super important when you're trying to create a personality. So always make sure to add the fact that all its output should be in JSON format. And so I'm going to add that all output must be in JSON format. So since I've done that, I'm going to ask it to create an image of I said a humanoid kangaroo. So I'm going to run that and let the AI go through that and see what it gives me. Although it's most AIs usually work with more complex prompts, but most are very easy to use, like Nano Banana. Nano Banana now you literally just gives you what you give it and gives it to you back in better format. So now it's running the prompt. Oh yeah, another important thing is that for your prompt, always remember that you must add a negative prompt, because negative prompts are more like what you don't want to see in your image. Okay, they are what you don't want to see in your image and what you wouldn't like to see in your image. So an example of a negative prompt is maybe disfigured or 6 hands or 6 fingers, stuff like that. They help distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. So now you can see that in my prompt here, you can see that it's first went through the concept of what I want to do. So it analyzed the concept of an humanoid kangaroo, that is a kangaroo with human features, and then it's recommended the like a framework for it. That means like a framework. So wait, was someone under? So next, it analyzes the type and it gives me suggestion about what its skin should be like, about the texture of the character and its anatomy. So, and then the next one was it gave me suggestion on the lighting of the image. I mean, that is why the photography side was very important. And then it's also gave me the camera settings. That's also this. And then it gave me final output, and it says here this is the explanation of what it does, what it did rather. So it says I chose specific keywords like anthropomorphic and bipedal to enforce the humanoid shape, reference to Aaron Sims creative and unreal similar AI. So basically what it says here is that it tells me the reason for the prompt and why it is optimal. So I'm going to copy this prompt real quick and take it to I'm going to use 2 different AIs for this. I'm going to use Gemini and run this, and I'm also going to use Google AI Studio for the second one. So it's loading. Let's see what it gives us. That's fast. So voila, see what it gives us. It gives us a kangaroo with humanoid feature that hands and standing upright, because kangaroos don't normally stand this upright. So it gave it the shoulders, the hands, the legs standing aloof, and then you can see here that the background is more like as if it's taking a picture. Do you get it? It's very, very smooth, and you can see how clean it is. So next, I'm going to show you another type of AI you can use. So I'm going to try Imagen for portrait image.
Is it possible to make the kangaroo like somehow more Bitflow, like themed?
Oh yes, definitely. So I'm going to have to go here and edit my prompt right here. So mind you, we must first know what Bitflow basically represents. Oh wow. So we're going to go to Bitflow's page. We see that they have a yellow and black, yellow and black logo, but mind you, they do not have a mascot. So I'm going to download the logo and head over to my AI. Head over to my AI, copy this real quick, paste it, and then I'm also going to upload my logo. And mind you, this is the tricky part. Okay, so the tricky part is how we can integrate this logo into our prompt. So now, since I can't for sure say that, okay, does the logo can be like in the background, because the AI would have to like go through many steps to just do that. So I'm going to ask it to um manot kangaroo comma add the uploaded image as a. So my sense of thinking is I should make the image a logo on its chest. Okay, so a logo on its chest. But then I don't want the kangaroo to be shirtless, so I'm going to have to be specific more. So wearing I'm just going to go with the black shirt. I'm going to add the plus on its chest area. And then I'm going to run that and see what it gives me. In the meantime, so I'm going to teach how to use the image info, which is best for JSON prompt. But today we're going to be using this now. And we're going to be using this. And mind you, your aspect ratio is very important when you want to use an image for something. So if you want to use an image for a video, but then video is a landscape, you choose the 16:9, which like works because this is the standard video mode, that's landscape, or you want to do a portrait mode, that is 9:16. But if you select a 1:1, it does not give you the desired output where you want to make a video. It makes it less, very, very compacted. And that is not good when you're running a video, because it's then, it then changes the output and makes it less what you want. So now the AI is running a consultation on what I just showed. So they want to invert. It thought about the fact that if it adds a black logo to a black shirt, it will basically be invisible. So it thought about a more better way, but I don't think it's about that. Let me check. Pixels, blah, blah, blah. Okay, bright orange here. So although the image may not be concise, it may not be the way you want it, because for most of this AI, they do not do well with already uploaded image. So I'm going to have to upload my image here again, just to be clear with the AI what I want. So now this is the tricky part. So pixel art logo, I'm going to put in bracket right here, image provided. Okay, so what that tells the AI is that I uploaded an image already. Why don't you use that image to create the logo that is in the centerpiece? So now I'm going to run this and see what the AI gives me. In the meantime, this is what is given for the other AI. You can see here that it gives the kangaroo in human form. You can see how better it looks than the nano banana, but it also has its benefits. You can see the yes, but yeah, you can see that it's quite good the way it looks. So I'm going to save that. Mind you, when you're creating with AI, don't think that the first image you create is the best one. Okay, always try to create more than once to have a proper, should I say, average image, like the best image possible. Okay, so once you keep it, okay, yeah, this is what we've gotten. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
So this is what we got. Because of
So are you recommending people to have almost like different platforms open and then have the same prompt feed into different platforms so you can get like a collection of different results?
yes, because that would help you get better at what you do. Okay. If you're able to
So
like, yeah,
what
continue,
I'm
James.
what I'm thinking is one way to approach this is to generate a prompt and you feed that prompt to different platforms, and then you check the best result from all the platforms, which one you prefer, and then you take that one and develop it further.
Yes, exactly. You take the best one possible and then you create around that one. Because no matter what you think, you can't necessarily have the best output with one AI. Okay, you have to like engage with various other AIs to always make sure your output is way better. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So I'm going to try it out. Due to some issues, I'm going to, since the bounty says a Christmas theme, so I'm going to try to make the kangaroo more Christmas themed. Did you get? I hope you guys can hear me. So now I'm going to upload the Bitflow image again. And then run that. And I'm going to go back here and try running what, try running what I got from this and see how this comes out. So, mind you, I will drop this personality in the Discord for anyone that wants to have access to it. It's everything here is basically free to use. Anyone can use it for a limited amount of time. Because I think when it comes to the image aspect of Google AI Studio, I still think Google AI Studio is the best because it gives you unlimited image generation per month. You could also try LM Arena. Let me type that so you guys can see that. Now. So LM Arena basically uses Nano Banana without any other application. So we're going to go here and see what we've gotten. Yeah, because of I did not add the logo, it gave me a whole new logo. So this is the limitation of this, because you won't be able to update a logo. So that's why I recommended using different AI, because then some AIs will allow you to upload while you are creating images, but others won't allow you to do that. So I'm going to copy this prompt. No, I'm going to create this prompt. I'm going to change this to orange to see how it goes. I'm going to see how it goes because for some reason, because of I made the shirt black, the AI decided that making it black and this one like that doesn't work. I'm going to try to make the shirt orange and see what I get. Does anyone have a question so far? So we can, we can go through it together just to be safe. Okay, so this is how you use LM-Marina. LM-Marina basically allows you to create an image without any updating or trying to get anything. So now I'm going to try to upload the image. This image? No. I'm going to try. I'm going to upload the image. See, I can upload the image with this. So I'm going to have to add the fact that this is the image. Uploaded. So I'm going to close my bracket and run that and see what the AI gives. So in the meantime, let's go check out how our last prompt did. So since the background is orange and the shirt is orange, it makes it even more better. So let us see what the AI gives us, and maybe we could work with that. Now this is loading. So now, since we had a bounty launched earlier, late last week, about creating a Christmas themed beautiful bounty, beautiful video. So for now, I'm not going to be creating a video because I want you guys to create with your full imagination. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to create a themed image with what I'm doing. So now I'm going to wait for this to load and copy this prompt and run it. So let's check on our, okay, so LM-Marina is done. Oh yeah, you can see it now. You can see the two different types. Although this one did compromise the image, this one brought out the image perfectly. Hero, did you see it?
Yeah.
So you can see that this one compromised the image, although the character looked better. But this one brought out the logo better, but the character is a bit, not up to par, so I'm going to save both of them.
Okay.
So now we are going to go to Gemini to try the festive aspect of this. I'm going to upload that, upload the image. Mind you, the reason I'm uploading the image, like I said, is for the AI to have a, should I say, like a preview of what it wants to create. So it wouldn't like have to hallucinate and create its own image. Okay. Most AI, because they don't have access to most of what we say, like when we say create a logo and we try to explain it, most AI don't have access to that information. Their database is not that advanced. So they tend to create it with how advanced they are. So then that's usually like, it makes it differ from what you actually want. And that is not what we want right here. So we want to create the pattern perfectly. So now I'm going to go over here and explain why the prompt is like this. So it says that I define the shutters vivid orange to blend with the logo background, ensuring the black pixel art geometric wave stands out sharply as the brown element. That means it's made sure that the beautiful logo is very, very evident and it's not like reversed like the other images. So now we're going to go here and voila, we have ruin the Christmas art, wearing a
That's
beautiful
really
shirt.
cute. Can you
Yeah.
post that on social media just so that there's a, the BitFlow people can see it. There's a record of it, and I really like to
Yeah.
share some of these workshop stuff
I'm,
on X.
I'm going to drop all the images in the Discord. So I'm going to try to do the prompt with this one. So mind you,
Tell
we're still
people
going to,
where to go, like where to find CTSN Discord, because maybe few people know that.
oh yeah. So access the CTSN Discord, just head over to the CTSN.ng. Hold on, let me try to get access to it. So you can always have access to the CTSN Discord through the CTSN X profile. The link is in the profile, and I'm going to try to access it right here so we can see. So all you have to do is go to your search button and press CTSN _ng. So once you go there, you're going to see the Discord link right here. And then if you click that, it's going to take you to the CTSN Discord. Is this the right? I think advanced link is let me try to text. So it's going to take you to the CTSN Discord. Let me try to confirm it's working. Yes, it's working. Yeah, I'm still that. Wait, why does it say that? I think it should be interesting. So it's going to take you to the CTSN Discord, and then to access everything that we've done so far, you can head over to the content creation channel, which is totally open for everyone. But just to be clear, you can get role at state channels and roles, or you could get it. So you can head over to the content and creation channel, and you have access to all the past recordings of the bootcamps. So in case you are curious about what we've been doing and you have no access to it, you can head over to the CTSN Discord, and you would have access to every material that we've used so far, and also every tools in regards to both development and the music production. So head over to CTSN Discord and get in there to have everything that you need. So now I'm going to go to LM Arena to see. Oh wow. So as always, the first one, let's be crooked, but then this comes out well. You can see the BitFlow logo there and shades the Christmas environment and everything. So I'm going to save this and send it. So the next aspect is video creation. So since most people do not have access to most people do not have access to paid Gemini or Flow or Google Video. So we're going to try to use video to, which is basically free for everyone, but you do each. So that's why, mind you, this is not an advice. That's why it's perfect to have more than one email when you're dealing with AIs, to have the opportunity to access the different tools available. So once you're able to do that, you'd have little to less issue creating as much as you want and exploring. So I'm going to switch to video 2, basically. And then this is another important aspect. So like I was saying before, when you want to create a video, there are only 2 aspect ratios available. There's the 16:9 and there's the 9:16. So although most of the images created by Banana have been in 1:1 because of the limitation in law. So I'm going to have to just work with them. So I'm going to go over here and upload my image. Mind you, the thing with video creation is that you can choose to be more specific with your prompt, or you can choose you can use keywords, or you can just use advanced prompting. So I'm going to have to use keywords for this. So I'm going to ask the AI to animate this with acceleration aspects. And although this is just for show, it is not like the normal web prompt. Mind you, don't prompt like this because this is not advanced. I'm also, you also have to make sure that whenever you're prompting the video, you have to make sure that you take into, you must take into factor the camera angle, the lightning, and the way your character is. So I'm going to say, let character work with camera move. Let character work while. Okay, so I'm going to, for more details, I'm still thinking about the prompt. So I'm going to ask character to work as if it's uploading a vlog. Okay, so we're going to run that and see. Oh yeah, see, you can see here that there's the 10/10 generation. So that's for free limits. You can generate more than 10 without using the Gemini API, basically. And although you could just subscribe to your Gemini and get a more better option, but for those with no access to, no access to exclusive aspect of it, so I'm going to ask Gemini to do the same for my image. Since I'm just going to change this to shooter, because when you upload the analysis, I'm working on it. So now I'm going to check on this. Yeah, it's downloading, and now okay, so let's see what that gives me. So I hope you can see that. You can see that, like I said, because of it is not 16:9, the image is cut enough. You can see it is not even in half, it is more like in quarter. You cannot see the logo, you cannot see the art, you can only see the little background and stuff. So I'm going to save that, and we're going to have to work on this aspect again. So another thing you can do for this thing is to make sure you add the aspect ratio in your prompt. Okay, that's another important thing. So if you say you want to like create an image and then you add it to your prompt, the AI would, okay, let me try TL. So I'm going to try this, copy this, paste it. and then I'm going to tell it AR, which basically means aspect ratio 16. So now this is the important part. So I'm going to have to go with 16 ratio 9. So let's see if the AI would be able to do that for me. I'm not too confident in this. So now this one. So because I did not put a dialogue, the AI had to generate a dialogue for me. So I'm going to be sending this to the chat for those who want to listen to it and see the difference between both formations. So you can check the CTSM Discord for access to the videos. And then I'm going to go back here and see what this one does for me. So I'm just going to be giving a little bit of like input to what you guys should do for the bounty. Since Bitflow does not have since they do not have a mascot, my best advice for anyone is to make use of one of the various meme coins available on Bitflow. Oh yeah, it did the thing. It did the thing. I forgot to add the image. So it did the thing, although the image is still 101. Yeah, but it looks okay. So now you can check the Discord for access to this, to the video. So okay. So the next aspect is we're just going to go over. We're going to try to like create a dialogue for this character. Okay. So I'm going to go over here and copy this and paste this. So I'm going to upload the character, and then I'm going to tell the AI the important thing is the way you structure your prompt, like I said. So I'm going to try to structure my prompt in such a way that the prompt is not complex for the AI. So I'm going to make it very, very simple. So I'm going to ask the AI to let the dialogue by go as follow. So I'm going to say welcome to the month of the function I see. I'm going to use XMS for night mass. So I'm going to say trade on its flow. I'm going to say don't forget. I'm trying to make sure that my prompt is not, my dialogue is not more than it's supposed to be. So okay, so straight on flow. So let's see if the AI is able to create the old prompt around this. And another AI you can use for your video is Flow. Although Flow requires Flow does give 100, so 100 points I think per month. Also, so you can basically create using 100 flow points per month. And once you create those, you would have access to the voice and the animations and everything. So I'm going to go over here and see. Okay, it's loaded. So I'm going to go over there and see. So now I have access to my phone. Let me check real quick. So it's loading. And let's check our Gemini to generating. So, mind you, when you're working with Flow, you can let your imagination run wild because Flow works better with imagination. So you can let your imagination work around wild, tell it what to do, how to do it. So as access to Nano Banana, you can basically create image with Flow. So now another perfect aspect of Flow is that there is the text to video aspect, in which you put in a prompt and Flow helps you create that image or that video rather. And then you have frames to video, which you have to upload two different frames and add them together. So let's say, for example, you have like two distinct images. So you can, wait, let me try to do something to show you guys. I'm going to try to these two. So I'm going to tell make this to set from of the course as true. So I'm going to try to run that prompt to show you how the frame to video work. So when my video is ready, I'm going to go at it and see it. So this came out perfectly like the code into it. So I'm going to try to upload it so you guys can have access to it. If you do not understand anything, please don't hesitate to raise up your hand or ask any question, because this is an open class. Everyone is welcome to ask a question. Uploaded, so you guys can have access to it now. You can check how it's so much. So you can check. So we have kind of an error there. So you see how the frame to video works. It's basically made sure both of them are in the same image. And then it's also, this is the first frame, but then this is like the middle frame, what the prompt I asked it to do. And then this is the last frame. Okay, so normally what it does is that it doesn't like add both frames together. It makes them separately, but because I asked it to add both characters together, it's had to do that. So now we're going to go over this one. So now you see how good it is. Yeah, and you see that both frames are also in the video, so showing that the frames of video is meant to like make sure both frames like mingle with one another. So I'm going to save this. So I'm going to save this, and then the next aspect is ingredients to video. So what ingredients to video is that it basically allows you to upload more than two images. I think more than two images. It allows you to do that, and then at the end of your upload, at the end of your uploading, your prompt will define how both images will interact with one another. So now using this, I'm going to ask the AI to make this to characters, but to like So nice. Mind you, you can also use the prompts from your Google AI Studio system instruction personality. But I'm just taking it slow because that would take more time than we have, and I wouldn't want to take too much of you guys' time. So I'm going to try to show you guys how the latest video came out. So I'm going to upload this and show you guys, so you guys can have access to it, so it doesn't seem like it's, you know. So I'm now going to, you can also create image with Flow, but that is less used on Flow. So I'm not going to have to work with the Bitflow image created. So I'm going to use the prompts that we used for Gemini. So I'm going to upload that, and then I'm going to do this, copy the prompt about this. Okay, so I'm going to crop and see. Waiting for that to upload. Oh yeah, the video is done. You can see both characters. So that's the beauty of AI. AI, you can do anything you want. So what do I see after this? So I'm just going to add the word journal and add the command there. So I'm going to run that, and we can have a look at what we created. So you can see both of them are fighting with receivers. But yeah, let's check this one out. And it's not too much. And you can see that although it's not like super fixed, but it still works. So now we're going to have a look at okay, so it seems like our engine is created. So I'm going to play this and see what. So this came out as good as I thought it would. Let's make the second one. So I'm going to upload the and mind you, you're all free to. So there you go. That's how you can experience AI stuff. That's how you can create various AI while also, you know, doing other stuffs. So if anyone have a question, they're free to ask the question right now, because we've come to the end of the class, and hopefully you guys learned a lot. Oh yeah, Team Lang, what's up?
I have a question. So
Yeah, ask.
you know, when you try to use an image as a reference for video generation, right? And let's say that the said image has like right